She Lion is an Aussie fashion brand specializing in handbags and apparel. The company also focuses on selling several products that are made end to end in Australia. Kate Dillon, founder and creative director at She Lion, explains to Digital Nation how the company came about and how she discovered the complexities of keeping a supply chain sustainable.
I have been manufacturing and designing handbags for 6 years, and sadly, most of that has been done overseas. It just hasn't been possible to source all the componentry and the level of reinforcements and the scale and the type of design here, although we have tried. But a garment was something that we could explore, and something simple like a sweatshirt, which is actually not simple at all. um, to someone who was totally naive and did have some design background, it was just such a humbling experience. And to have been able to involve as many small businesses in the process, which I think if you were in a larger business, you'd probably have a lot of these technicians in house. It was really great. And to have done that entirely over Zoom in lockdown was a whole new level of growth mindset that I had to take on. Because I really knew nothing about what I was doing. So it was really wonderful that so many people stepped up to get on board to help. And it was the most amazing way to really learn more about fashion manufacturing in Melbourne and Sydney.
Dillon says people don't understand the waste that products produce when they are made, and this made her do a deep dive on every part of her supply chain to make sure that it was all sustainable.
Making garments and accessories actually does or can really, really greatly impact the environment. And a lot of people aren't aware about how that happens. And I think a huge part of it is some consumer awareness and understanding and insight about the impact that the creation of these things, makes. I had no idea that there was that much water used when you make jeans and like things like that. When you start talking to people and better understanding something, yeah, it was a huge upskilling experience for me, and something that's completely made me rethink how I run my business and to ask a whole lot more questions. I mean, everybody that I've worked with internationally, I've had specialist third parties come in and make sure that they're ethically certified and there's responsible working conditions, and the leather we source is sourced ethically, and all of those pieces. But actually going a step further and properly understanding how everything has come about and asking more questions is now, I think, more important than ever to properly understand that.
The pandemic has made Dillon rethink how she works and has also put into perspective how important technology is from a sustainability standpoint.
I think that COVID generally has made everybody rethink what they value and how they do things. I think COVID, definitely from an Australian small business perspective, has put a lot of obstacles with dealing with international supply chains, heaps of delays, increased cost in freight, that you're looking for new ways to solve problems that you didn't have before. You're really having to rethink things that you took for granted, and that's great because it's forcing the fashion industry really to innovate in ways that we haven't had to before. And I think it actually brings us back to having to focus on sustainability, because sustainability essentially is about creating something that has a long life. So your then focus again is on slow fashion. It's on high quality. It's on durability. It's on responsible sourcing and ethical sourcing, but it's also ideally, if you can make that work, on having some sort of circularity, on having some sort of recycling or repurposing in there. And I don't think that's been as prevalent as it has been generally in branding and advertising around fashion, as I've noticed, at least in the past sort of 2 years. I feel like COVID has absolutely pushed people to really think about their commitment to the environment and how they are bettering the world rather than just creating things for the sake of creating things.
Dillon says technology was crucial in launching her product.
I feel like technology was the only way we could get this product off the ground, because if we didn't have Zoom and email and the ability to call people during the pandemic, which really was something that people were concerned about because phone lines and the internet connection was so bad because everybody was on the internet. I feel like that was a key reason why we were able to get done what we got done, because we were all distributed. We were like a distributed network. Everybody was working remotely. Everybody was in their own place. there's like more than 20 businesses. They were all in different places and we weren't able to see or touch or, nothing tactile. The technology was what enabled that. And I think that there will be more of that going forward.
That was Kate Dillon, founder of She Lion. For more great stories on the impact of transformational business, head to digitalnationoz.com.au.